Hello YouTube, it is Chris here, and in today's episode we're going to be discussing my family's emergency survival kit. So stick with me. Welcome back everybody, and thank you for sticking with me. Like I said, today we're going to be discussing my family's emergency survival kit and our top preps for bugging in an absolute emergency. If you're joining us for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our new episodes or our daily giveaways. Additionally, make sure you hit that notification button so you don't miss anything. Also, we have a new round of our Amazon gift card giveaways, and to enter, you need to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. We also pick winners in the very next episode, so if you enter on this particular giveaway, you'll find out who the winner is on the very next episode. Now, what you see before you are just some placeholders for different topics that we're going to be talking about in today's episode. And the categories that I feel the most important for a bugging in survival kit situation would be food and water, first aid, power, hygiene, communication, self-defense, and illumination and heat. Now, in full transparency, there are a few sides of the categories that we are still working on personally, but there are still very important items that we want to work on and work towards. And what we're going to be doing is showing you a few of the items that we keep in our house and some things we choose to keep within each category. So without any more hesitation, let's get started. The first topic we're going to be discussing is food and water. Now, for me personally, I live in a city and I also have another thing hindering me. I live in an apartment. So having the ability to have my water stores and everything set ready to go is actually going to be a more difficult task due to space. I won't have a big garage or a shed or a bigger area to put a lot of preps in, like 50-gallon water jugs, anything like that. It's going to be a little more difficult, and I have to think more creatively. So in the case of water, now with purified bottled water, as long as it's kept in a cool, dark place and is completely sealed away from any UV light or any outside elements, it's basically storable indefinitely. So we have several of these 5-gallon collapsible buckets for water collection. If we get into a situation when we need to bug out, we have some of our water stores placed in water bricks. These are 2.5-gallon size bricks that helps us transport and move our water around the house and to and from the house to our vehicle very quickly without having to try to lug a 400-pound item. Additionally, you're going to need ways to purify your water, where things like pressurized jerry cans from Hydro Blue, their VersaFlow with their actual 10-liter gravity water bag, things like that really come in handy. Now, in addition, what you see before you are a bunch of different food items. These food items have virtually indefinite shelf lives, from sealed pasta, raw unfiltered honey, salts, vinegar, any type of pure extract, whether it is lemon, mint, vanilla. Those things have alcohol in them, which prevent the formation of any type of bacteria. And things like instant coffee. Instant coffee is kind of disgusting, but I'd rather have it as a morale booster and energy than not have anything at all. Now, in case you run into a situation where you may run into bad weather or a storm where things like this could become damaged and ruin your food supply, you don't want to depend on that 100%. So having things like Mountain House meals, the Live Prepared cases, Wise Company food buckets, things like that make a lot of sense, in addition to things like MREs. The next category is first aid, and this is an extraordinarily important category because in the emergency situation you and your family may run into, you may not have emergency services. They may be suspended, whether it's a hurricane, an earthquake, power down, economic collapse. You got to be able to take care of your family and take care of your own. Now, just because you have all these beautiful supplies doesn't mean you're going to be set and ready to go. There are a lot of basic first aid techniques that my family and I know, but if it came to a gunshot wound, we'd probably die. And that's just us being very transparent and honest in our assessment of what we are capable of currently. And there's a lot of classes that we plan on taking very soon in the spring and whatnot that we're going to be focusing on improving our ability to take care of ourselves in an emergency situation. Something I recommend highly are survival medical buckets. They're extremely expensive investments, but they are totally worthwhile. The two buckets that I have are the Bravo bucket, the birthing bucket, and the Alpha bucket. Those are the three that I know of offhand. The Bravo bucket is the more budget-friendly, all-encompassing bucket. It's got a wound kit, a tool kit, injury kit, germ kit, burn kit, and a bleeder kit. So you have a lot of things you need. It's basically your small kitchen sink. The Alpha Bucket is the kitchen sink. That's what you bring with you on the mega party bus when you're rolling out to the hills and never coming back to civilization. The next topic is power. You want an ability to keep things running in a grid down situation. Like I said, we're in an apartment complex and I don't show everything we have preps. A lot of the stuff is placeholders. And if you want any more information on any of the stuff that we've shown off, definitely check all the links that we're going to be putting down in the video description so you can get more information. Now for generalizations, small items, flashlights, cell phones, small electronics, things like the RAF power, the Anchor batteries, the Outdoor Extreme Energy batteries, those are going to work perfectly. In conjunction with that, a really good items to keep on hand are your portable solar chargers like the SunJack Gigawatt and the PowerPort Solar by Anchor. These are two really good highly recommendations. Goal Zero also makes some really good gear. But if you live in a larger home and your demands for power are much greater, you're going to want to look into things like Yetis, those big huge power supplies that the Canadian Prepper was showcasing just a few days ago. Those are your big ticket, big budget items that are going to be huge worthwhile investments for yourself, because they are going to be able to run things like refrigerators, your kitchen, a shower, to give you what you need when the grid is down and you've got to keep power and a relative sense of healthy living smack dab in the middle of shit hits the fan. The next subject to cover is hygiene. This is incredibly important along with first aid, in the sense you need to keep your mouth, your hands, and your funky bits clean. That's just how it is. Literally, you need to be able to take care of your stuff, your junk, the tiddly bits. But in all seriousness, having things like socks, extra shirts, extra underwear, having hand sanitizer, spare things of shampoo, toothpaste, deodorants, toilet paper, tablets, Epic wipes, just things in general to keep you and your body clean and healthy will help prevent things like infections, diseases, things you just don't need to deal with when you're already in a stressful situation. The next subject matter is communication. Yeah, you're looking at an empty table, and this is where I'm going to come clean with you guys. This is one of the few areas that I have to work on myself. This is one of the few areas we noticed during Hurricane Harvey when we evacuated with our bug out drill, so to speak, in San Antonio, that we realized we're kind of slacking on. However, it's something that we just couldn't afford certain aspects because we want to do it right. Now, in conjunction with power, being able to keep your cell phone charged is a very good first step, very good basic way. So we do have the basics covered. However, there are alternative things like walkie-talkies, ham radios, NOAA radios, just so you can hear communications from official weather services and emergency services to let you kind of know what's going on if you're in an emergency situation. There's just a lot of alternative methods that we just don't have right now, but it's definitely on our short list. Self-defense, buy a bunch of stuff and learn how to use it. But in all seriousness, it's actually a very important part of your prepping, because if you are someone who does prep and you take it very seriously, there's a chance your neighbors might catch wind of it. Even if you try to have good OPSEC, there's a chance they will catch wind, they'll hear about it, see something that seems off, they'll keep their eye on you. You'll be known as the prepper family, like it or not, unless you start shopping at 3 o'clock in the morning in the cover of darkness with cover trucks and you're all tactical and black ops. In the reality, you run into an emergency situation, whether you're in a rural or urban environment, you could run into the chance where you're going to have to defend yourself, defend your family. Things like knives, firearms, crossbows, security umbrellas, batons, handcuffs, flex cuffs, everything and anything that you can legally have in your country, your state, your province, your town, wherever. Have it with you, keep it on you, keep a bunch of it, and be ready to rock and roll and train. Know how to use it. Take martial arts courses, weapons courses, go to the range, go wherever you feel you need to go to get yourself to a level you feel is adequate. And last but not least, we have illumination and heat. Now, even in our apartment, we actually have a fireplace that we clean out twice a year. And we do have firewood. It's limited compared to what someone who would have a ranch or a large property that could stack up loads of firewood. But we do have those preps in place if we need them, because we will not have an ability to have a heater if we run into a cold situation in the winter, if it's a prolonged down emergency. But alternative forms of illumination, if your batteries die, you don't get a lot of sunlight for a few days, your batteries die, your flashlights go out, you have things like candles. These candle options are absolutely amazing. I love them because they're so cheap. You can get 100 of these tea light candles for like, what, $4? These are 20-hour candles, and each of these candles are like $1.40 at Walmart. They're dirt cheap. You can spend for like 25 bucks. You just get a whole boatload of them at a time without spending a lot of money. And it gives you a situation that you're kind of going to go back to 1776, but it's better to have that illumination, the light, the heat, the warmth, and the morale boosting security that all of that encompasses and includes. Now, this setup and how everything is used as a placeholder is not perfect, but it gives you good ideas and some foods for thought on prioritization and lists that we put together and things that we strive to get better at. And hopefully this kind of gets your brain juices churning to get you to want to improve or start your prepping with your family. All in all, these are our top prepping categories for a bugging in situation for an individual or a family. And we understand fully there's a few things like paper towels, toilet paper, other basic items that are covered in the categories that we mentioned in this video. Something I really want you guys to understand is the stuff that we put on the table or we're just placeholders for those subjects. We couldn't possibly show you all of our preps because one, that's stupid OPSEC, and two, we wouldn't be able to fit it on the table. But something we're very interested in is you think there is a topic that you think we missed outside of food and water, first aid, power, hygiene, communication, self-defense, and the all-encompassing illumination and heat. Let us know if there's anything that you would add as a category in your prepping for yourself and your family. However, that just about is it for now, and if you enjoyed this talking point and discussion, definitely give this video a big thumbs up and share this out with your friends and family in your social media networks so we can keep growing, thriving, and making awesome videos for you guys. But that just about is it for now. Hope you guys have an absolute wonderful day. I'm out.